Secrets Growth Academy, and today I'm going to be talking about a important topic regarding the new rules of sales and marketing with all the changes in technology, all the changes that are happening in our economy, how the buyer and seller are actually interacting with technology in the internet. And so with that change, as real estate professionals, we need to be able to adapt to that change. All right. So in this video, we're going to go over a couple things. Number one, how to overcome the skeptical seller. We're going to talk about the importance of not doing too much trial and error without modeling. And then we're going to talk about if we're not following the new rules of marketing, there's 12 of them. It can cost us thousands of dollars in our marketing efforts. And then also too, I want to talk quickly about the importance of having something that's truly unique of value in the marketplace, and that way you can maximize your profit per deal. All right, so those are the topics we're going to quickly cover, and this is kind of just a statement I want to put out there. If anything, to hopefully get your attention. Unless you've been living underneath a rock, you've realized that the way the buyer and seller are interacting with the agent are starting to shift. They're changing. And we need to be aware of those changes. One thing that you've probably noticed, especially over the past 5 years, there's been pressure, extra pressure on commissions. The buyers are a little bit more leery to sign a contract. Sellers and buyers, they feel more empowered because the information that they have. And lead generation isn't as straightforward as it used to be. There's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different strategies and tools. And how we generate leads is somewhat difficult because largely we're all going after the same pool. So how do we generate our own leads, right? And technology and marketing is changing. It can be really, really confusing. And if we're not taking advantage of it, though, we're not maximizing our results. So we have to accept that the way we generate, nurture, and nurture leads is changing. The way we close deals is even changing because of at the time of me doing this broadcast, we're in COVID, right? So sometimes the way that sellers and buyers want us to interact is even more virtual than it used to be. So we have to be able to adapt and adjust to those changes. So how do we do that? Here's the deal. One other factor that I forgot to mention is there's more competition than ever before. Now, who knows what will happen when the economy changes, but there are different rules, and we have to start paying attention to what they are. So I'm going to quickly go through 12 rules that I found have led some of the mega agents that I work with and what we're leading with at our brokerage to adjust to some of these changes and what they are. So rule number one is you have to, if you're going to be spending money on technology and marketing and lead generation and lead conversion, you have to have a sales and marketing plan that goes with it. If you're spending money on these things, but you don't have an actual plan to follow through to maximize your tools, to maximize your lead conversion, and you don't have a systematic process that you're using on a daily basis to both capture, convert, and close more deals, then it's like opening up a window and just tossing money out the window. And so you got to have a plan, and you have to incorporate the best practices of modern day sales and marketing within that plan. And it involves a lot of us getting out of our comfort zone, especially if we've been doing, things one way. We have to start adapting and shifting to those things. And then we got to find ways to be able to discipline ourselves, mechanisms, systems to discipline ourselves to execute on that plan daily. And so that's largely rule number one. It's a huge thing. And we have to get hyper-focused on tracking our results and keep our dollars even more accountable than they ever have before. So one of the things that I want to talk about specifically, which these kind of stack on each other, these rules stack on each other. And rule number two leads me into what rule number one is, and that's the breakdown of what is actually in the sales and marketing plan, and making sure that our plan when we're drawing up our plan, that it covers top of the funnel activities, middle of the funnel activities, and bottom of the funnel activities. Largely speaking, top of the funnel, you're either purchasing the data or generating the lead and finding ways to nurture that lead to drive it to the middle of the funnel. And then middle of the funnel are all the techniques and strategies to warm that lead up to then either have them call you, or when you reach out to them after them interacting with your sales and marketing content or technology or whatever it may be, that they're in a place that they're warmer, right? And if the marketing is really good, they're actually booking an appointment on your calendar, which we're going to get into strategies of how to do that. Bottom of the funnel activities are a little bit different. Bottom of the funnel activities are where it takes more of your time and energy to make sure those leads convert. And this is something that I see that creates a lot of, when this part's not done, these bottom of the funnel activities are not done, you can leverage all the technology, all the marketing in the world. You can have the coolest tools, but if you're not following the best practices of what it takes to convert leads at the bottom of the funnel, and that's not in your plan, then it can get difficult. And so you can see how these start stacking on each other and how they all kind of flow together. So rule number 3 is you have to leverage the right technology and marketing to scale your business. And so what I see a lot is we have plans, but then we don't really have the right tools and systems to execute. Or if we do, they're not all functioning and working together. They're disconnected and disjointed. So when you go to actually follow through on your sales and marketing plan, or you go to do your daily sales activities, it's frustrating because you got to log into this system and then you got to log into this system, and you got to, or if you have a team, you're expecting your agents to log into 3 different places to work their leads in some cases. Or if they want to dial, they have to dial through a separate dialer because it's not connected to your main database. And so the functionality between the websites and your sales funnels and your third-party providers and all the different things are disconnected and disjointed, and they're not communicating with each other, and it creates confusion. Where there's confusion, you're going to have a lack of productivity. Where there's a lack of productivity, you're going to have a lack of sales. Okay, so websites, sales funnels, third-party data providers, mass emails, texts, direct-to-voicemails, third-party dialers, messaging bots, online marketing tools are not a should anymore, but they must become a must in your technology stack. I'm going to do further training on this down the road, but these are musts, not shoulds. You have to be using them within your sales and marketing plan to generate the results. Okay, setting up the right workflows, very important. Okay, there's nothing like having a dead CRM and not having the right multi-channel marketing campaigns programmed within your CRM. All right, so going on to rule number 4. Rule number 4 is with focusing on what is going to make you unique. So now once you have your system set up, you're adapting, you really have to hone on what makes you unique, because if you don't, then your competitors are going to be, in the mind of the homeowner, they're always constantly asking themselves, what makes you different than the next person that just contacted me, right? And if you can't effectively communicate what that difference is, you're going to get business, of course, right? Based on just your skills. But you get really honed in on your unique value, which we're going to go over in further training, in future training. It's going to help you a lot. Number 5, don't try and be the expert in every single niche all at once. This is a common, huge mistake that I see, is that we're trying to do everything all at one time, and we don't master a niche. The world, there's a saying, the riches are in the niches. So I'd highly recommend that if you're just kind of working a whole bunch of different leads and you don't have systems and processing, scripts and dialogues set up to master a niche, to hone it in a little bit, because it's going to cost you a lot of money if you're not focused on mastering one niche at a time. Going into number 6, your marketing must communicate how the client, what the experience they can expect. So I'm a huge believer that we got to take our customer service the customer service that we offer, bottle it up and turn it into a marketing strategy. Right now, more than ever, people want to know what the experience is going to be like working with you before they work with you. And I'm telling you, this is a secret weapon for a lot of professionals now, because there's very poor customer service right now. And a high demand for quality experience is there. So if you can map out as part of your marketing plan what their experience is going to be like step by step by step in your presentation, in your marketing, it's going to take you a long way. It's a major, major shift that has to happen in our industry. Major shift. All right. You have to take time. Number 7 is you got to take time away once a week, in my opinion, to do some reflection, to ask yourself what's working and what's not, and what do you need to shift within these 12 things that I'm going through. I'm going to provide a nice, really cool document that's going to help you evaluate your business, so you can actually have that document and you can evaluate your process. But that's a huge shift that needs to take place. Is we gotta run, but then we gotta slow down and then take a step back and evaluate. So that's number 7. Going into number 8 is you can't do everything by yourself. This is a trap I fall into, that I've fallen into in the past. I still do. I want to do it all. Sometimes to save money on budgeting, sometimes because I just feel like I can do it better. A whole bunch of stupid reasons why I've done that before in the past. But you got to have the right people in place, especially in this new economy, because the dynamic has changed. And where you're not an expert, you either need to plug into models to become an expert quick, or find an expert to help you. So if you're not a social media person, right, per se, or maybe you're not a prospector, maybe you lean more towards social media, not prospecting, whatever your skills are, you don't just say, hey, look, I can't do it. You got to find a way to fill that gap as your business continues to scale. Can't happen all at once, but as you hit different levels, like my friend Michael Hellickson teaches in Club Wealth, there's different levels. So your business change and your budget changes, you go to different levels. But at the same time, you have to be looking at what people you have in place. And you hear me train on this all the time. The only reason why a business either fails, stalls, or limits its growth is because of 3 things: people, process, and tools. You hear me say it over and over and again. I'm going to keep saying it. So going on to number 9, one of the things that we have, in our industry is we have ineffective systems. So we have to have systems that are matching our marketing plan. Well, what is a system? Well, a system is mapping out the people, process, and tools. It's something that you can focus on and look at your people, process, and tools, and have an analysis, have a process to do that analysis. So you're constantly tweaking your system, right? And that's going to cut your time frames in half. See, my goal is for you to be as successful as possible, but do it in the shortest amount of time frame. And when you have a system mapped out, you can analyze it and find the holes quicker and make adjustments quicker. And here's the thing: success is a whole lot of little things coming together, right? It's all the pieces of the puzzle coming together that are going to lead you to success. So finally, rule number 10, you have to make sure that you're in a position where your brand is solid, and you don't just focus on lead generation, but you have an element to where you focus on how strong your brand is. So when somebody's Googling your name, what reviews are they seeing? What testimonials are they seeing? Right? So going back to a client first marketing strategy, if you get client focused and you start getting stories from your clients and you start putting them at the forefront of your marketing, it's going to help solve this problem. But there's a branding issue. There's all these online directories. They're pulling in all your information, and it creates a branding issue, because if they have the wrong information, or if they're not seeing reviews on whatever sites the buyers that are looking you up on, you could lose business because of it. And a lot of my clients have. So very, very important. Number 11, and we're almost done here for today. Number 11 is building and maintaining your in-house, your database, okay? And making database marketing the number 1 priority, of your business. The number one priority. It's where all the money is, right? If you ever want to sell your business in real estate, one of the first things they're gonna look at, or one of the big things they're gonna look at, is your past client database, right? Or how many opportunities that you have and how well your brand is built, right? It's a huge part of it. So database marketing and getting really good at marketing to your database, staying in front of your database, working with your database, running special promotional campaigns to your database, engaging in unique ways to your database, interacting with your database on social media, right? Huge opportunities there. I work with agents that have databases of 10, 15, 20,000, some of them 100,000 people in their database. Imagine how much money they have sitting there when they come on and they join me, right? It's a huge opportunity to tap in. And it's like what happens is when you start doing database marketing the right way and your database gets to a certain point, you can literally create business almost on demand when you get really good at database marketing. It's like a form of business insurance in a way. So you don't want to be like the average Joe and just keep doing the old traditional things, is my point, just wrapping up here, guys. Because if you keep doing the old traditional stuff and you're not adapting to modern day marketing, modern day technology, marketing to your database using technology and multi-channel marketing approaches, you're going to miss out on so much, because the money is in the list. The money is in the list. And so while everyone's fishing out of the same pond, okay, you have an opportunity to create your own pond, right? You don't have to just depend on Zillow for the next lead, or just depend on Realtor.com to pay exorbitant fees. And I'm not saying that doesn't have to be a part of your marketing. That's very important. But what I am saying is you got to get to the point where your database is your number one priority. And then you start tracking everything, right? Track your results, track where your business is coming from, right? Track your cost per lead, get fanatical about tracking, right? And so you do all these different things, you're going to find yourself being able to not only adjust to the new way of doing business that's happening right before our eyes. You're going to be able to, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate your comment there. And I'm going to keep doing further trainings on this. I'm going to try to do a training each day. So I appreciate that comment. But the thing is the trends and patterns that are happening here, can be adjusted to. They do take a different way of thinking. But once we look at those things and we really, really hone in and pay attention to the trends and patterns, the exciting part is it not only will go to the next level, but you will smoke your competition. Because if you pay attention to these 12 things that I've went over with you here today, and you get really focused in on database marketing, and then behind that, getting really good at demographical marketing or geographical farming, if you will, using some of the technology I'm going to share with you in future trainings, you can become successful so fast. If you're already successful, you can go to a whole nother level so fast, because your competitors aren't even thinking about these things, right? And that's the exciting place about right now in this world, is that if you're a focused individual, you have a chance to do something so great. You have a chance to help so many people. You have a chance to really make an income that I believe we're going to see incomes being made by realtors that are going to blow the doors off of our previous stats. And you're going to see, I think, a divide, even more of a divide than there already is, because technology is just going to accelerate everything, right? So the people that are doing the right things, following these 12 things and these 12 strategies, and doing things differently, you're going to see them accelerate a lot faster. So they'll do in 2 or 3 years what took their predecessors 7 to 10 years to accomplish. And that's the exciting part. And the exciting part is we can reach and help more people. If you are a realtor with integrity, you have a good brand, you have good core values, you are going to dominate in this. So I don't want everyone to get overwhelmed or feel like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of different things here, I get it. It can be overwhelming. But if you plug in, you focus, you develop the new strategies, you develop a new direction, it can be a very exciting opportunity. It can be a chance for new beginnings, right? New habits, right? A chance, a way, kind of like a refresh on the whole outlook. And that's where I want to leave you guys today with excitement of developing a chance to develop a new opportunity, no matter where you are at. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this quick training here. I'm going to sign off for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with the next chapter or module that I'm going through here called Real Estate Marketing Secrets. And I look forward to you guys tuning in and sharing some more powerful information with you. Have a wonderful